What's up, fam? Welcome to L.U.S.T. Let Us Speak Truth. I am your host, Nick. We got the crew on here, y'all. What's up? What's up?
What up, though?
Learning.
Sorry, y'all. We missed Sunday, but we back. We back. Okay, y'all. Today's topic: being with a man that has been abused. So where I'm going with this is men always speak about women being abused and how crazy they are while in a relationship. What about being with a man that has been abused? So, in other words, men are likely to show a reluctance to trust, exhibit low self-esteem and emotional numbness, and even withdraw into depression. How can women help or be there in that type of relationship?
Oh,
Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead, Trav. Put your fingers up, y'all.
I mean, the only thing she can do is just be kind. There's nothing much she can do. And then on top of that, like when you say abuse, could you elaborate on that part for me a little bit?
What if you were traumatized by your daddy or your mom, or went through some things going at a young age?
Okay, so you're making it plain. Okay, so if you went through stuff growing up, in your childhood that affected you. Okay. I mean, yeah, but it's not really much you can do. But be kind and listen if he wants to talk about it.
Right. Okay.
Patience.
Patience. Okay.
Patience.
Okay. With that being said, y'all, I'm gonna play this clip, and then we're gonna get to you, Lanita and Ro. Tell me if y'all can hear this.
Women are choosing and dealing with bullshit because y'all sat here and gave us so much bullshit. Why we should be fucking doormats to your emotions? Come on, Randy. To your fucking accountability for the fact that you ain't healed yourself from the fucked up shit your fucked up ass mama did to you. Come on, Randy.
What do y'all think of that? Go ahead.
I would like to say something to that right there. First of all, that energy that she exhibits in that situation is so out of line. It's so out of line from the start. Because if a man came across and said that to a woman that had been through abuse, mental or physical, their father wasn't there, he would be misogynistic, a narcissist, not caring. But here's the catch. You can do nothing to help that man, but be kind, as I just said before.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing you can do as a woman. You know what I mean? Because you can't fix some shit from somebody's childhood. We don't have those abilities.
So
Nothing
then,
you can do.
so then let's say that they're in that relationship and they're having patience, like Smiley said, and they're having, they're being kind, but they're taking all their anger out on you because you're the closest thing to them.
I'm glad you said it, and I'm gonna be quiet because I've been talking since the podcast started. But I'm glad you said that.
That's okay.
And this is the way I feel about that. And it's unfortunate that it's like that. But at some point in time, you either use it for inspiration to do better, or you use that bullshit as a crutch. And that's just how I feel. As a man, nobody gives a shit. Get your ass up and go do what you're supposed to do. I understand that, but ain't nobody gonna let you keep whining as a man. Go get it. She don't want to hear that shit. Women say they want you to be vulnerable and open and say, oh, my feelings. Fuck your feelings. They really don't matter. Go get it, dude. In whatever capacity. After you done told her 99 times that your daddy wasn't there and your mother was a bad mother, she don't want to hear that shit no more. So
Right.
stop talking.
Right. Go ahead, Lanita.
Other part. Oh, go ahead.
I think when the lady was talking, and I'm not excusing the way that she came off in the energy in the video or the recording that we heard, but what she was saying was because in some instances where a man is abused, they turn around and they take that same type of mentality or that same type of abuse and they bring it into the relationship with their woman. So that she's saying, like, don't treat me like a doormat, don't do this, don't do that because of the stuff that you grew up dealing with. I think that's where she was coming from. Not necessarily saying that it was right. I think that if a man is has been abused growing up as a kid, I think they are way more reserved. They like their privacy. They don't really like to be messed with in certain aspects. So me, I've learned to kind of give people their space. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Smiley.
Piggybacking on both of them, her energy in the video, wow. However, I agree with the sentiment.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, we all adults, and everybody done been through something. When you go into the relationship with folk, it's not that other person's job to fix your trauma. It's their job to be there, you know what I'm saying, to just kind of support you as you go through the process to fix your trauma. What Trail said about if a man said it, it would be misogynistic. It'll probably get viewed that way, but it's just as justified. No man or woman should be required to take abuse from you because you had abuse in your past under the pretenses of I just care about you, I want to love you, whatever. At some point in time, we all got breaking points.
Mhm.
You're not required to stay there and beat a punching bag for somebody who ain't dealt with their shit.
Right. And see, I
So
believe.
how she
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I believe it's presentation. So how you come at a person tells all. So just like I was saying, there's a lot of men out there that are in relationships with women that have had fucked up relationships. So they have trust issues. So they treat the man kind of like shit. And the man, or not, I wouldn't even say treat him like shit. They just don't know
You can
how.
say that.
They don't know
Yeah,
how.
I'm about to say, yeah, leave it like that.
You can say that.
Said it.
They treat him
You
like
said
shit
it.
because they don't know any other way, because that's all they seen. You know what I mean? So, but with that being said, it doesn't give a woman a right to ever disrespect a man, because it's, again, your presentation. So let's say me and Ro, let's say we're together and I had a bad day at work and I come home and I'm just shitty. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. And you're like, well, damn, all right. What's for dinner? And you come at me like, what you want to eat? Forget it. You should have already had it ready. You know, it's just the attitude, the presentation will kill a lot of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Trav. Sorry.
No, and it kind of piggyback off what we were talking about the other day. Like I said, and we were talking about differences and the things that we talk about, which I think are really helpful for people that do watch us or whatever. The only problem is men and women are completely different. So us as men, as a man, when you got to realize you have no time to look back. When you're leading the family, you know
Right.
what I mean. You're leading the family. The king has to make decisions for everybody around, if that's the way you're running your household. And the queen is to be pampered and taken care of in most cases. And so why, as a man, are you dwelling? And I understand what you're saying, like on things that have happened. You at some point in time you got to move on from that. And I'll stay there. You can't just keep saying my mom was fucked up, or I didn't have a dad, so I don't know how to be a husband. Well, don't get a wife. Don't
Yeah.
get kids.
Right. Bro.
Right.
A lot of the trauma though is current trauma for a lot of men. It's daily trauma. You know what I mean? It's the daily stresses of trying to be the best man that you can be for your partner. So it's hard to
Give me an example. Give me an example.
myself, right? I retired out of the military. I decided I don't want to work with the government, blah, 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 blah. I want to go get a regular job, be in the civilian world, yada, yada. None of that stuff worked out. I found myself in a conundrum, and I don't even know what that is.
I do.
Where
You said it right.
You said it right.
If I wasn't the man that I am, I would have been stressed out and depressed about my inability to provide more for my family and what I felt like they deserved. So that's why I say, when I say daily trauma that we're dealing with, it's hard to you never, unless, and I don't really, I'm not big on counseling. I don't tell nobody else not to do it. It's not really a thing for me. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you never dealt with that. Then you're dealing with everyday life. Then you got to come home and deal with a woman that sounds like the one on that recording who's telling you not to be the B word or not to be a punk and let it go and keep moving. And that's all that's good. All that's true.
Mhm.
All that's true. But the results of all of that is early death, heart attacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't, the original question is about the woman, right?
Right.
Dealing with a woman
No, it's dealing,
how a woman,
it's dealing with a man that has been abused.
right? But it's okay. So all right. I don't know,
But
man.
Ro,
I say be by yourself until you are mentally able to allow somebody else into your space.
bro, I like what you just said, bro. And
Yeah.
here's my thing though. With what you just said, I didn't hear no trauma. I just heard you deciding to be a man, and you can't pick and choose the days you choose to be a man. Real men are men
Right.
every single day. So when you just said
Yeah.
that, I'm with you. You said I don't want to do this. I did that, but I didn't let that break me down. I cut a path, and I'm going that way.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to find. You got to
So I
find a direction.
being a
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like
So you guys think
we all go. Nah, but I mean partially, but I do believe that I'm a man. I'm 100% man, right? Like I stand very very firm in my 2 feet, and I have had moments recently where I second guessed a lot of my own, you know, morals and values and abilities. You know what I'm saying? And
right,
that doesn't have to equal trauma, but it equals a situation that you have to be able to manage. You
right.
know what I mean? I don't know if about y'all, but at this point in my life, the quiet silence is the loudest it's ever been in my life right now. I don't know about y'all. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
Can I say one good thing? I know I'm talking
For
a lot,
sure.
Joe, but
Nah, go ahead, bro.
I love the conversation, man. I really do. Bro, the problem is, and this is something I face. And I try not to let certain things into my brain because I know it serves no purpose. When you live amongst so many men that are confused on how they have to be or how they want to respond to day-to-day life, because being a dude that says I don't like this and I don't like that, and you got preferences and you think is that I wouldn't do that. You got other men that say things like that, like they say, happy life, happy wife, and do that and don't do that. Don't yell, don't yell, don't yell. And you can't raise your voice and you're wrong. Well, if you're a dude like me and you, I can tell you get animated, and I do too.
Oh
That don't
yeah,
mean I'm
definitely.
attacking.
Yeah.
That don't mean I'm attacking. That
So
don't
it's
mean I'm gonna burn the
about
house down.
it's all about presentation. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
but
Yeah,
I'm
but it,
saying most men can't even raise their voice in their home. She says, watch your tone, and she can
yeah,
act the way.
don't be yelling at me. My kids can hear the kids can hear you. Yeah. I do.
All of that,
Especially with
all
my
of that.
voice, bro. Imagine me going one octave up.
And then
My
what
shit
happens,
echoes and everything.
listen, and what happens when a woman yells at you? How do
That
you
shit don't matter to me though.
That's what he's saying. Ro not saying that he yelling. He's saying just his regular speaking voice. If he goes up even an octave, it comes
Yeah,
off as
and it's
aggressive.
as aggressive, right? And it's
you,
not
you
like
can
I talk with my hands. I talk with my hands and everything. So literally, I
We
have
all
to
in the
train
same boat,
myself.
bro.
I
right.
have to train myself to talk like, all right. So what I'm trying to say is, oh, you being funny. Nah, I'm not being funny. I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying not to raise my voice. Oh, you look here you go. What's that word I'm looking for? You being help me out, y'all.
Passive aggressive and all that bullshit.
Passive, right? They start throwing all that type of shit out at you. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's not an answer,
And
yo. I say
and
be by yourself until you ready to let somebody into your space. That's my answer.
Ro,
Right.
the cliche words that they say, all the words that they say, the cliche words they say, that's what puts that dude in that box. Now you feel like a
Mm-hmm.
cage lion. Now you feel like a
Right,
cage lion.
right.
Okay, y'all. The top 5 signs of emotional abuse. And yes, I did research. And this is for a man. If a man was abused, 5 signs, ladies, that you can see in your relationship when you start dating or whatever. So anyway, the first one, they are hypercritical or judgmental towards you. Second one, they ignore boundaries or invade your privacy. Three.
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me go through them. Hold on. Let me go through them. They are possessive and or controlling.
Oh my God.
They are manipulative, and they often dismiss you and your feelings. And this was written by a man.
And
What you're
he's
saying, those are the
and
signs.
he
Those
sit
are
down
the
when he
those are the
who wrote
those are
that?
the
He
signs of a
just
man
described
being
dudes.
abused.
You just
Those are the
you just
signs.
you just described a dude that sit down when he pee.
Yo, but you did you hear how you said the top 5 characteristics of a man that's been abused?
Uh-huh.
He's mean.
Emotionally.
No,
He's emotional.
signs that women should look for in their relationship if the man was abused. These were the top 5 signs written by a man. So that's
But
why
I didn't hear. But I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear
I
nothing
got
about. I didn't hear nothing about a man. Like there was no compassion in none of those answers.
not a one.
Not a one. It was I mean to you. I manipulate you. I yell at you because I've been fucked up. You're telling me that's what I do. Like, don't get out of here. I'm not you, Nick. Not you, Nick.
I know.
The guy that made the list.
And so do you hear what I'm saying? Do you see how much like this is out there? This is society. This is from a man, and this is what he is writing for women to look at. Hold on. This is
All
what
right.
man is writing for women to look at, which is
No, to sell a book. He's doing that to sell
Yeah.
a book because the girls are the ones that buy him. That's what that is.
and it's crippling.
Steve Harvey.
I think it I
He said
hey, I
what?
like that one. I like that one.
Oh no!
What?
Well,
Act like a
forget
man.
Steve Harvey.
What? Think like a
Derrick
woman. Act
Jackson.
like a man.
Yeah, I like that one. I think that's
Oh, listen, hey,
but I'm a woman.
Smiley.
Yeah.
They ought to run that nigga clean. If listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this tonight. That dude should be run clean off the map. No woman should buy anything, listen to anything that dude say. If you looking at our podcast, bro, get with me. Let's have a one-on-one conversation. You are
No,
the
me too.
epitome of
3-way. Put
simp.
him on 3-way. Put him on.
Yeah,
3-way.
you need to get with some. You are one of the biggest simps I've ever seen. I want them to find you and send the clip. You are a simp central, is what you are. Simp Hall of
Ass.
Bro,
Fame.
nah. Hey, no.
Go ahead.
He worse than the simp, bro. He worse than the simp. I'm gonna tell
He's
you
a
why.
suck ass nigga.
Boy, that boy
He worse
sick,
than the
man.
simp, bro.
And he's
He a
sitting there.
predator. It's
And that
look.
dude, and
A
you guys,
simp.
you ladies
Listen.
made that man wealthy, and he sit there and tells you lies. Man,
Bruh,
come
that's
on.
what I'm saying. He worse than a simp.
So
A simp
that
gonna do that shit because that's literally how he is. He doing it because he got a goal in mind. He knew how to manipulate the feelings and emotions of women to sway their pockets.
right.
I'm sorry,
He
y'all.
not even a real simp. The nigga is really
Y'all,
on some predatory shit. He a grifter.
y'all, you
He a
don't
He's
con
a
understand
man.
drifter.
how
He's a
toxic.
drifter.
And I'm laughing right now. I'm laughing right now because this whole topic is being with a man that has been abused, and you men are killing it. Like I ain't heard nothing from Lanita. I heard
No, I'm sorry, Nick. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to take
y'all
over
are
y'all.
like
That man's name,
I
that
am.
man's name should
Wish
be.
I would have wrote his name down. I wish I would have wrote his name down because I sure would have said it on the podcast. Because truth be told, I don't think he's right. I don't think he's right. I do think some men, I won't say all, I'll say about 45%, because I'm just going to use my own percentage, do try to manipulate or do show anger, aggression towards a woman if they were abused because they don't know any better. And
Can you give me one sign of a woman that's been abused? Can you give me one? I just want to hear one, just random, just one.
one
Because I
sign,
want you to make it. Because one sign that a man should see when the woman's been abused. Because I guarantee you, where I'm about to go with this, I guarantee it's going to be real soft, and it has nothing to do with her on the guy. It's going to be like, oh, she's in touch. She's not in touch with her feelings. She's shy. She's pulling away.
but okay,
They just,
I got one for you.
Yeah, give me one.
What if she was raped?
No, don't move the goalpost. Just give me one. You Googled 5 signs of a man that's been abused.
Okay, so you want me to look
Do the
5 times?
same thing for women, yep.
So
If you're talking about
one
go ahead,
sign,
Lily, my bad.
one sign that a woman has been abused is she overly apologizes for
All right,
anything.
stop right there. Stop right there. Take a time out. Did you hear how yours in some way was empathetic? She doesn't know how to apologize. She doesn't know how to say sorry.
No,
Guys were
I said
manipulative,
she
mean. Go ahead.
well, wait a second, because I said a woman will overly apologize if she's coming out of a relationship or she's
Right,
been abused or something.
But yours was your
Mine
one
was
characteristic-
empathetic. You're saying mine was empathetic, but remember, men and women are made up differently, right? So if women are more in tune or in touch with their feelings or their emotional side, then we're already naturally empathetic, whereas men are naturally masculine, so they're
if
not.
y'all have been
Wait.
abused, y'all-
I just looked it up.
My bad, Lindsay, I'm sorry.
Emotional signs of a woman being abused: agitation, anxiety, constant apprehension,
Mhm.
developing a drug or alcohol problem because they can't handle it,
Wine.
extremely apologetic, low self-esteem,
You hear the difference.
always
Most women anyway.
always fearful, and fall into depression.
But do you see my point? Do you see what I'm trying to say though? Look at the difference in the list. One of them is y'all make the guy look like shit because he's been abused. He's mean,
The woman needs some
manipulative,
sympathy.
and the
Truth be
woman
told,
gets
y'all,
sympathy.
when men are abused, they do act out differently than women. Now,
I
when
disagree, Nick. I disagree.
But
The
listen,
women
listen.
nowadays, they are mean as shit, yo. When they've been
women are
abused
being
and shit.
built like men right
Hey,
now.
Oh,
all right. I just
that
want
shit
I
crazy.
want y'all to think
Oh,
about
go
one
ahead.
thing, right? So
Am
when
I
you think
allowed to
about
roll
the
up on
way,
the podcast?
Yeah, go ahead.
so when you think about how those lists sound, right?
Uh-huh.
The male list makes him sound like the aggressor. The female
Thank
list
you.
makes her sound like the victim.
Right.
Victim. Thank you.
When
Okay,
truth be
so
told,
Hold on, let 'em-
both sides are technically victims of abuse.
Victims.
However, just the way it's described, for the
Mhm.
dude, he's the aggressor. For the girl,
Right.
she's a victim.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I was trying to say.
I
Thank
get
you
what
for
you're saying.
articulating.
I get what you're
Thank you for
saying, and that makes a
articulating,
lot of
Smiley.
sense. I think what happens is because the woman, I hate to say it like this, but because a woman is typically the one that's victimized, I think that that's what it is too. Because no, I'm not saying that she's always, I'm just saying a lot of times the woman is the one that's victimized. And that's why it's put out there the way that it's put out there. But a woman that has been abused, and she's been a victim of abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, have all of the signs that Nick said. Like like when a man has been abused, say that man has been sexually abused, a lot of times he's completely sexually turned off, or he is doesn't like the same sex, or he likes the same sex, or he's hypersexual. So
But women are
there's
apologetic.
No, I think women, honestly, I will say, when I know two people that have been victims of rape, and it's either they love sex and do it like crazy, or they hate it. They hate to be touched. But go ahead. Our topic tonight is about being with a man that has been abused. So
And-
Got that skunk sack.
go ahead, Travis.
Go ahead, Trav. I got something after you.
I guess there's a disconnect with me. Tell me about a man. Give me some abuse. Fit some abuse to a man. Like, tell me what that could possibly look like. Tell me what that looks like.
Shit.
I got you. I got an
a
example
man
for
could
you.
be physical. It could be.
I got a good example. Stop
on.
crying, man up.
Go ahead.
There
Hold
you
on.
go.
Hold on, bro. Go ahead, Lenita.
My bad.
It's abuse to a man could be physical. Abuse to a man could be mental. Think about when they're growing up. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast. What they're exposed to as little
Childhood
boys
trauma.
going into,
Like childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And they're bringing that, and they're growing up with that childhood trauma. They haven't
No,
Um,
no, no. Give me like a specific action.
Okay. You as a child, you're 10 years old and you see your dad beat the shit out of your mom, and you think that, and your mom stayed and she still glamorizes him in front of you. So then at the end of the day, as you get older, because she stayed and she glamorizes him still, you think it's okay to put your hands on a woman.
Okay. So let me process that for quickly. I'm gonna regurgitate it back. Your daddy was an ass kicker, and you think it's okay to go out and kick women ass.
You can't relate to it because you don't have that life. But I'm talking about the people
I
that,
know that, no, I'm saying for to be able to see that. Okay.
yeah,
All right, I understand.
right. So, so that's one instance. And then another one, let's say, I hate to bring this up, but I'm gonna bring it up. A man was physically abused
Like what?
sexually by a by a by a family member.
How old is his
Male
family
or
member?
female.
No, it's a man, and he was
Another
physically.
man?
It
how
could
you
have been
say
a.
it like that?
It could have been a 16-year-old babysitter, and you were 6.
Is she a girl?
She was a 16-year-old babysitter, and you were
Was
6.
she female?
She was a 16-year-old babysitter, and you were 6. It
If
doesn't make a damn difference. At 6 years old, you're going to be traumatized because a 16-year-old girl is touching your penis and you don't know why.
I wouldn't have been.
well, theoretically, let me
I can't do it.
theoretically,
Go on, get the money. Go on, get the money.
theoretically, that's kind of different, Nick. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
I mean,
It's
I was attacked. I was attacked as an 11-year-old by a gang of women, and I'm fine.
What did he
You're
ran
an
train on you,
idiot.
bro?
You're an
Look,
idiot.
They
You're
ran
an
a
mean,
idiot.
train on
look,
you at
look.
11, bro?
I
Hold on,
know,
bro.
I know we kind of being funny
Yes,
right
sir.
now, but y'all
I'm
do
not.
gotta
Probably,
understand.
I'm not. I'm
Hold
not.
Well,
on,
look,
y'all.
look, look,
Go
Nick, you
ahead.
gotta
Go ahead.
understand, right? So
To mute
when
them
you talk
for
about when you talking about sexual abuse as a kid, as a boy versus a girl, the what people feel like is trauma is gonna be different. Like
right.
a 14-year-old girl at school and that one teacher is pushing up on her might make her uncomfortable, but that 14-year-old boy and that one cute teacher pushing up on him, he not gonna feel like this is trauma. He like, man, I was already trying to get at that anyway. I don't know if y'all ever seen, I forgot the name. It's an Adam Sandler movie
Now,
where
and
he
now is
played a kid who had sex with a teacher,
now
and
is
then the
he a
teacher got
grade,
locked.
what grade is he
I
in?
know exactly what you're talking about.
Hold on. Is he a grade school or is he high school or
He was high school, middle school.
Yeah,
I
he
want
was
to say it
like
was middle school in that specific movie.
maybe 11, 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
where you're going through the change as
Yeah.
men? Okay. So you're going through the change as a man and a older woman is giving you attention and you're like, oh shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if it's taken from you.
Statutory.
No, if it's taken from you, you're not ready, you're shy, you don't know nothing about that whole scenario of sex or anything, and a woman takes it from you.
She hit you with the R word.
It's still not bad as for a boy. I mean, that's just where
That's a lie.
Mommy, but you know what? Let me
Lie.
say that. Let me say this though. I do understand that Antoine Fisher. There we go. The movie.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. His babysitter was lining him up, and it really
Yeah.
messed him up. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Really messed him up. And I could see, like, we can say that as a boy, you don't even understand your sexual desires and preferences at 6, 7 years old. So to be taken advantage of, it's abuse regardless because you don't even know what you're supposed to like at that age. You don't even know, like, you don't hang out with the homies and talk about, yeah, I'm gonna fuck such and such, Miss Williams. No, you don't have them conversations at 6 years old. So to be in the classroom when everybody else is playing recess and the lady is tickling your balls and stuff, that's not. You don't even know what's going on. Like for real, you don't even know what's going on.
Okay,
You know
let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. You're 11 years old. You are at a park. You're playing with your friends. An older lady. She's familiar. You don't know her, but she's familiar because she's been around your group. Say it's at a camp. Okay. She's been around the camp. You're 10 years old. She calls you over. She says, come here, I want to talk to you. She takes you to a room and she starts fondling on you and starts messing with you. And shut up, bro. I'm being serious. This is like trauma. Like, seriously.
I got you. I
10
got
years
you. I got you. I
old,
got you.
10-year-old boy, and it's trauma. And then next thing you know, he goes back out with his friends and he's just like scared because he feel in that sense, he feels like he did something wrong.
He was violated, right?
It,
Yeah.
Right.
it's still, it's even with that, it's still nuance to it. Like, think about it this way, right? Sex in general. If it's consensual, you don't look at it as trauma, but if it's forced, then you do, right? It's the exact same activity,
Mhm.
but it's about how you feel about it in that moment. So you could take that exact same scenario with that same 11-year-old boy and that same older lady that take him to that same bathroom. If she get the fondling shit and he like it, that trauma don't exist with him the way it will with that other kid.
Mhm.
If he enjoys what's going on, it's not going to be traumatic to
And
him.
right. And I'm not talking about the ones that are okay with it. I'm talking about the ones that got taken advantage of. So as they get older and then they're with women or whatever, but they have some type of thing, either they're aggressive with sex or they're aggressive with sex.
I mean, I personally don't think that. I don't think there is a. You could name a thousand different things that are considered trauma, right, for children, sexual or not, right? You know what I mean? But it's to each individual. You know what I mean? Like some kids grow up faster than others. Some kids lose their virginity before others. You know, yada yada.
Yeah.
What's unfamiliar to some, especially nowadays with the new generation, everything is sexually related. TV,
Yeah,
every TV show, every you
Is.
know what I
at
mean?
7 years old, they know the game.
Right, yo, my nephew just the day got caught slipping, and they went through his phone at 7. He has a phone at 7, and he was looking at Pornhub, cuz.
Oh Lord. Go ahead, Trav.
So, yeah.
So quickly, maybe this can make sense of what you're saying, Nick. And this is an experiment they did. They took two male pigs that were born from the same litter, and they took one and they kept them on the farm, and they took the other one, put him in the wild. When they brought him back together, I guess they tagged his little ear or whatever. They let him go. He lived. He came back. One had tusks, one had hair. He looked like a razorback. The other one was still just as pretty and white, and he was okay. So the difference is, like you just said, if that boy has been around older men and he's 11, he's not going to take that situation in the bathroom the same way as that boy that's been sheltered and coddled by his mom. And he gets the opportunity to sleep with his mom at night because his dad's doing a late shift. If that's cool or if there's no dad there, totally different situation. In my case, I'll just put it back to me for the end part. I was raised by men and I'm the baby of 5 sons. I
Mhm.
would have been applauded for that. And that's just the truth. So I don't understand that part. Now, I do think it's wrong, of course. You're an adult, you shouldn't be messing with a kid. But I think it's far worse for a 20-year-old man to mess with an 11-year-old girl than it is a 20-year-old woman to mess with an 11-year-old boy.
Oh,
I
for
just
sure, for sure. But today's topic is being with a
But
man that you
I don't think it is worse though, bro. I don't.
but that's a
The action and the representation is the same.
but
You know what I'm
Rose,
saying? Is
that's a whole different subject, y'all. We're talking about men that have been abused.
right. That's what I'm saying. I think what Trav just said, I think is the same. I think for men, for the young boy, we can mask. We can. I think I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't want to make it. I don't want to
Hey,
pussyfoot around for the little boy. You know what I mean? But I don't want to. My original answer to the trauma was, uh, damn, you're a little boy. Stop crying and man up.
right, right.
If a little boy comes to a male PE teacher and says, Miss Jones just put her mouth on my penis in the band room, the PE teacher might say, damn, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Hey, you growing up quick now. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
crazy.
what I'm saying, that's in reference to what Trav just said. It's not the same trauma. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with it though. I'm not saying I agree with it. I think
Why,
it's something that affects people in the future.
Okay,
why
The
is he
action
going
of the
back to
adult is bad regardless.
right.
Why is
Right.
he going
The
why is
action
he
of the adult is bad regardless.
why is he going back telling?
Because he didn't know what was going on. He didn't think it was appropriate, or it was weird to him. He's 11. He never been with a girl before, known anything about it sexually. So it was awkward. Same way why a girl would go back and tell.
Okay,
You know what I
no,
mean?
no. Here's the catch. Here's the catch though, bro. When he gets 20, he's gonna wish he would have went on and nailed her to the cross and knocked the dust off her. When she gets older, she's gonna still have a man. I wish she wouldn't have done that. I wish I wouldn't have done that. I don't like that. Women can go the next
But
day and
going
don't
off
do that.
topic. We're going off
Okay.
topic. Listen. I want to ask you guys a question. The men in the room. I'm going to be right back, but I want you to answer this question. Name two things that you guys have witnessed in any relationship that showed a sign of traumatization. I'm gonna make up a word from a woman.
Wait, run that. Say that again.
Name two situations, or not two situations. Name two things, two characteristics of a woman that you have been with in your past that showed signs that she has been abused. I'll be right back.
That's great. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's great.
that's easy.
That's gravy. I got a whole heap for that. That ain't no problem. But Roman Smiley, I mean, the reason I guess
He said, "Fuck Nick question."
no. I'm gonna ask her when she get back. But the
Right, I
thing
got
is,
you.
though, bro, like I guess, man, I'm from Atlanta, and we acted like grown-ups when we got like 12, 13 for the whole time.
Y'all jumped off the porch early, yeah, for sure.
So I could imagine that it was like that where you were too. And it's
Not
got to be like
necessarily, no. The only reason why I say yes to that is because I'm from a different era. Going to the park happened for me. I was outside at 10, 11. I was already at the park with my middle school friends every day.
How old are you in the 7th grade? How old are you in the 7th grade?
About 12, 11,
12, 13, yeah.
12,
That's
You're supposed to go to high school at 14, right? So
and that's when the dudes stop showing up for school and start
I mean,
selling dope.
I lost my
Disappear.
virginity at 13. So
Right.
I made it. I made a vow.
Did we answer the question?
And we
Now we was
waiting
waiting
on
on you
you.
to get back.
Oh, you were okay. I'm sorry.
I got a good one though. I got one. I don't got two, but
Okay.
signs that a woman has been abused. Not knowing how to communicate.
Okay.
Lack of communication skills. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a end all be all sign of abuse. Like communication skills, especially nowadays, a lot of people just ain't got it, whether they've been abused or not.
For sure. Absolutely.
Like for me, a sign of a woman who's been abused, like let's say y'all having a conversation and it get animated, right?
Mhm.
And
There
like
you go.
we all
Yeah.
talk with our hands sometimes, right? And in the midst of you're not being aggressive, you're not being mean, y'all not even arguing, but you just hype about whatever you talk about. But in your movements, she flinch.
Right. Right.
In her mind, you know what I mean? She done been through somebody that put their hands on her. So when you get to talking with your hands, it triggered that memory. Like
Right.
she real skittish in intense conversations.
Right. Yes. Trav.
Yeah, I would say both of those. Also, anyone when women don't do well with conflict, those are direct signs. Direct signs. They don't do well with conflict because when conflict comes up in a relationship, and like I'm demonstrative, I'm animated. I'll get loud. My voice get not as raggedy as Rose, but it gets raggedy. So, you know what I'm saying? My voice get raggedy. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stay in my area. I'm not gonna come to you. I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of women start saying, "Don't talk to me like that," da da da, or I feel like you're being aggressive. Well, you know what I mean? No, I'm just telling you how I feel. So I would agree with both of them. Those situations right there, most definitely.
Okay. And Lanita, can you tell me one sign of a person in your past that you were with that showed signs that that man been abused? I'll go first. So I was with somebody and they witnessed abuse in their parents' relationship. So this is what I'm going back to. So you witness abuse in your parents' relationship. So in your mind, I'm never going to put my hands on a woman because I've seen that with my parents, right? So you get so angry one day and you start pointing at that woman. You start doing this, but you don't want to hit her because that's a trigger, but you're still disrespecting and doing this at her head, right? And she said she flicks your hand and you start breaking shit because
That's actually self-control. That's a form of self-control. He didn't hit you, he just broke shit to take his anger out elsewhere. That's
So,
self-control.
because you
It's a
can hit
form
me,
it's a form of self-control. He controlled his desire to take his
But not-
energy out on you and
Yeah.
said it's just like the what's that the break rooms that everybody be going to now where they go in there and break a bunch of glass and shit.
The
The
smash
wrecking
room?
rooms, that's for people to go take out their aggression. So at that moment, he was so out of control, but in control enough to not cross that line that he broke something else.
Okay.
Right or wrong, it was still a form of control.
Right. But that was a sign. I'm not saying he was wrong. I'm saying that that's a sign that he's seen abuse.
Why is that? I don't understand.
That anger, that aggression, that anger that he had prior to me even knowing, I had to sit him down. I said, why did you get so mad over something so small? Because it wasn't even nothing major. It was just something that triggered him. So in my mind, I'm like, what made you that angry? And that's how it came out.
So,
Even though he controlled himself and he did right by reacting, but he still showed that sign of anger. Go ahead, Trav.
I think this is something that I think the ladies really need to understand. Like, if you get a man that's assertive, takes care of business, and goes out and willing to fight the world, that man has to have an amount of aggression in him to perform at that level day in and day out. So to ask a man to be anything less than that, you be asking him to be like a woman. And I'll keep saying it over and over. I'm glad whoever the person was, they didn't put their hands on you, Nick. That wasn't the right move. And I'm not a big advocate of smashing up shit I paid for. I don't like that either. So I think that's shit.
And
But
these are my younger years. So you know what
yeah,
I mean?
I get it. But I think I think a lot of times women don't understand. There's an amount of aggression in a man that's there's there for productive men. And I'm not saying having to channel that is the biggest difficulty as you get older and not using it to hurt somebody. But a lot of times women get in situations where you want us to be like you all, and we're just not like that. We're not.
But
And
okay, Trav, I understand your caliber, how you were raised, and like you have all strong men in your family, and you have your mother and father still together, right?
right.
And so you relate to the strong men and can't relate to really being an abusive person or seeing abuse because how you were raised. Now
True, but when I see men act like that, like I can't relate to a man acting like a woman. I don't understand. I can't compute it. It confuses me. Like, why are you
Right,
doing
and
that?
it actually confuses all men though, and it's weird because, like Trav said, man, when we man up and strap up and leave out the house, and I don't mean strap as in a weapon, I mean as a man, you get up in the morning and you walk out the crib, you're going to fight the world.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, your mission is to go out there and conquer something for the day and then come home. And then you come home because what you didn't talk about in that whole situation is what was the event that triggered the argument that then triggered the action. You get what I'm saying? Because we leave out the root a lot of times. So yes, he got so mad that he pushed your head and then broke a vase or broke a window, or you know what I mean? But what I think the real cause of all of that is what the issue was.
It
You
was
say it's small, but this is the problem.
okay.
This is a problem that a lot of y'all women need to understand. It's a small problem to you.
Okay, let
the
me tell you.
female.
I'm going to tell you the exact story. I'm sitting in the room. He comes in and says, "What's for dinner?" I'd be like, "What do you want?" "I don't know. What do you want? Figure it out." And I'm like, "Figure it out? I'm not going to figure it out. Like, figure it out with me. What do you want to eat? I'm not hungry. Are you raising your voice at me?"
Have I been at work for 13 hours and you've been in the crib all day? There's context behind all it. There has to be context though, Nick. It got to be context. That's where we say y'all want us to think like that.
I was working and he was not.
All right, then come on.
So
We're talking about somebody completely. He's ignorant. That's just a dumb man. Come on.
I was young and there's men out there. So that's what the fuck I'm telling you guys.
So the real time is you fucked with a nigga that didn't have a job. You was the one with the problem, not him. He was normal.
No.
I bet he had one of them things and he was coming in there dropping that goddamn food off.
That was not it. Whatever, bro. Go ahead, Chad.
I got one thing for you. So I'm gonna give you something that today. This happened today at about 3:00. So I'm at work. I'm taking care of something. I'm going inside. So when I proceed inside, they have signs up. I disregarded the signs because I really didn't care. And I got in, did what I did because I'm trying to move fast. Well, the security guard was like, I was on another company's property, and the security guard says to me, "Hey man, when you come in, you need to check the signs. And when you see those signs, they clearly say you missed 4 of them and check in with me." I didn't like what he said, but I had to proceed. So when I got it done, I went back to him. He's young. And I knocked on his door. I said, "Hey, let me see you out here for a second, bro." He said, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, and that's why they don't deal with, like you said, the things y'all say trauma. A lot of young guys have been taught this way. They don't deal with direct contact with men properly, and they take that into relationships with women. So I went back, I said, "Hey man, do me a solid. And it might help you with other men." All you had to say was, "Hey bro, acknowledge the signs next time you come." And I would have said, "No problem." But when you try to be slick at the mouth, that won't work with me. I'm not that type of dude. So yeah, I'm not that type of dude. Don't be slick at the mouth with me. And I didn't address you with the other guys around because I didn't want it to spark anything. It's just one-on-one. He didn't even know how to respond. He put his hands in his pocket and his eyes started drifting around. And I stood there and I made eye contact with him until he zeroed back in on me. And then I said, "I appreciate it," and I walked off. The reason I'm telling you this, because that same dude will come home and do what that dude did to you because he doesn't have conflict with other men well. If he can't have conflict with men, you know he can't handle with you because he's trained not to hit you. He's trained, I can't be aggressive. He's trained, I can't do this because it's a woman. Now he don't deal with men well. You know damn well he can't deal with you well. It's just the way it is.
I agree. I agree with that. Go ahead, bro.
So just to I was being funny a second ago when I was talking, but just to be serious, I do believe that context and backstory is so important in the life that we live when we tell these stories. And I'm not placing the blame on you as the woman. I'm just saying, when you got with this man, was he the type of dude that expected his woman to cook every day when he got home? Is this normal route? Hold on, let me finish though. I'm just trying to figure out because all of those things play a part in the type of man that we're talking about. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, if you change the scenario a little bit and see how you would answer. If the guy worked 13 hours and came home and you only worked 8, would he be able to be mad then? Why was your answer smart like it was? "Yo, babe, what's for dinner?" "I don't know. What you gonna cook?" Why? But
I didn't say that. I didn't
what
say
did you
that.
say? "I don't know."
You know, I said, "Well, what do you want to eat?" I'm very calm. I've always been okay. I'm gonna tell you guys this. My mom was abused by my father. Okay. Rest in peace to my dad. I am the calmest person and the most rational person that you would meet. I don't like conflict. I don't like arguing. I like to be calm, cool, collected. I like understanding, and I'm an open book. So I speak my truth. I speak.
But do you have a way as a woman
Uh-huh.
of using your words in a very sharp manner that go against everything you just described, but you do it very calmly? It's called antagonizing. Those are words that are not you.
I know what you're
I'm
saying.
not
I know what
speaking
you're
on
saying.
you. I'm saying there's a lot of women out here who do exactly what I call it, the grenade in the room. You come in, you say something slick, real calm, like toss the grenade, and then run back out the room and let it blow up.
You got
That happens.
sharp tongues. Those are
Right, sharp tongued. That's very, it's
it's called
what's the word? Strategic.
it's called being disrespectful. If you got a sharp
Right.
tongue with your mate and you come off disrespectful, I mean, that is what it is. It has
But y'all know how to, but I'm saying a lot of women know how to use that as a defense mechanism because that's how they do it and then play victim when the man breaks the stuff in the house. Because you didn't never hit him or you didn't do nothing to him, but the way that you answered and the context and the way that you use your words made the guy get upset.
What about the men?
And you knew it was going to.
What about the men that play victim?
I mean, that happens. It happens on both sides. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
But you know, that's bitch shit though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I
a lot
mean,
of
like,
bitch ass niggas out there.
That's bitch shit.
yeah, but there's a lot of manly ass women out here too. Y'all, sometimes y'all need to put y'all dicks away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
niggas stop acting
you know
like
what I'm saying?
bitches.
But when you
So come
like
on,
Ro,
man. They'll be smarter than that, Nick. Come on, get out of
like Ro just said, you sharp with your tongue.
Love
And
you,
this is
bro.
here. Right.
you sharp with your tongue. This is the biggest conundrum for a man like me. This is the problem for men like me. I ain't gonna beat you up, but you sharp with your tongue, and you got the you have the laws on your side, and you have the imaginary. You know what I mean? I can talk stupid to you. I can call you a bitch ass nigga. I can do that. Now, if it was two men saying this, me and him gonna fight to the death. I'm not gonna allow that. You know what I mean? Only way I'm gonna back down, you got a gun. Now, but on the flip side of that, so you using that, and I love you. So you got all these things in your favor. I love you. You're gonna use your sharp with your words. The police on your side, the laws on your side, and you know I ain't gonna do nothing. Because you said I can do that. Because it's okay. That's where the problem comes in for somebody like myself.
Okay, so
Right.
let's get back to well, I can't even mention them because I was gonna bring up Blueface and them again, but they crazy. They both nuts.
Yeah, that's retarded.
They just promote domestic violence.
Some bullshit.
I do want to go back to this list, this 5 things I thought about.
Okay.
Hold on
So,
one, y'all.
So the dude who wrote that list, right?
Mhm.
What was some of the stuff he said, like overly critical? Run through it one more time.
Hypercritical or judgmental towards you. They ignore boundaries or invade your privacy. They are possessive and or controlling. They are manipulative, and they often dismiss you and your feelings.
All right. So thing I'm thinking about when I'm hearing that, perception is a motherfucker. So number one, you say overly critical, right? Sometimes I'm trying to figure out how to word this.
You know
So
what, Smiley, as a man, give me an example of what these outbursts could mean. I mean, what they look like.
but that's kind of where I'm going with it, because sometimes you have a guy who exhibits these 5 traits, right?
Okay.
But in reality, he may not actually exhibit those traits, but that's just how she sees it.
Okay.
Now, because of this dude making this list, now we have confirmation bias that that's how she felt he was being. So that's how he was being.
Okay,
It wasn't that he was
but let,
overly critical.
but let's
It
talk
was just
about the person that actually is hypercritical or judgment.
look, hey, we fine, that's cool. I'm just saying I brought the list back up because this was a question that I had.
Mhm, mhm.
Because I'm like, when it come down to it, perfect example, somebody says you being judgmental because you shared an opinion about something that they did, right? Sometimes you just stated a fact about a situation, but because you stated that fact, it's taken as judgment. The way that dude wrote that list, he pretty much gave a lot of women a avenue to
Uh-huh.
paint dudes in that light, even in situations where they might not fit it.
Now, what if I hold on? Now, what if I was to tell you this was a counselor who wrote these 5 things, who did a survey of men in these situations?
He ain't getting no better. He
Ju-
got a group of beta men.
Listen, just because he's a counselor, that's we all still human, right? I don't know if you've seen the video of that one counselor or therapist, the girl who went viral and ended up getting fired because of how she was
Uh-huh.
talking.
Yeah,
That's a
I
professional.
saw it.
That is a
You
medical
guys,
professional.
like, listen, guys, I know that out there, a lot of the stuff is falsified and a lot of stuff is pro women and for women. But I'm talking about the ones that actually experience these 5 signs.
Okay, you're saying from the woman, from the man, right?
Yeah. So hypercritical or judgmental towards a woman. What is an example of being hypercritical or judgmental towards a woman?
I
That
don't know, because like Smiley was saying though, so many actions because because that sentence was just used, or that phrase, anything that we do, like having a standard for your woman. Honey, I don't want you to wear this. Now I'm controlling. Honey, I don't think you
okay.
should do that. That, you see what I'm saying? So it's like Smiley
That's
said,
why I
a
say
lot
the
of that
line
stuff,
get blurred.
right? Those words get used because they make sense, but in reality, it's just having a standard. So it can always be flipped.
So
Like I
Here,
know as a
what's an
man,
example? What's an example of being judgmental as a man?
Here's the thing.
I don't think
I'm,
you should wear that because if you do, people are gonna think you're a hoe.
So
let me.
that's
That's
being,
judgmental.
that is that your opinion or is that being judgmental?
no.
That's a
Please,
man saying what other men are gonna think. So I think it's both.
So,
I need both.
uh,
please,
go
please
ahead.
let me say
Go
something.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, great. And Smiley and Roe are one on spot. Here's the thing, and it's really hard because whatever we say is looked at as judgmental. You're judging. You can't even
Right.
tell a woman that you don't like her food.
Right.
Guys, I listen.
Oh, wait. I got you. So what I'm saying is anything where you tell the truth and it includes hard facts and numbers, you're being judgmental when it comes to women.
Nick,
That's
I
just
think what you're trying to say, Nick, I think men don't get the freedom to have an example for what you're talking about because we're answering your question. You're saying,
Well,
what
no,
is an example of a man being judgmental?
but no, you're answering. You're not. You're indirectly answering the question. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I answered it directly. You said, what is an example of a man being judgmental?
telling the truth to a woman.
listen,
Right. I
I
think if
think
you
the
wear
reason
that out the house,
Hold on.
go
Hold on.
ahead, my
Hold on.
bad.
Go ahead, Smiley.
I think the reason why it's hard for us to answer this question is because just based on our experience, being too honest, being too upfront, having some type of boundaries or standards, all of those things, depending on the woman you talk to, can be viewed as everything on that list. So when you say give an
Right.
example, we don't really know
It's
because
everyday shit for us. It's
Thank
everyday life for
you.
us.
That was the
Right.
answer. You don't know why, because you guys have never been in a situation like that. So I'm talking about.
Bullshit.
I'm
no,
talking
no. You,
about.
you misunderstood what I'm saying. When I said we
Right.
don't know, I'm
Yeah.
saying you said give an example of a man who's overly critical. Give an example of
An
it, right?
example of a hypercritical or judgmental towards you. Have you
And
ever
what
been judgmental towards a woman that you've dated?
Of course.
in
I
my
didn't, but I
opinion,
didn't see it as judgmental though. Right. Smiley, go ahead.
Okay.
in my opinion, I don't think I was being judgmental. I think I was being honest,
Mhm.
but it was taken as judgment. That's the
Because they
reason why I say like
don't like truth.
Give me an example. Give me an example. What
You
did
look
you
fat.
say? Okay, so you would tell your woman or your wife, you look fat, right?
No.
No,
I'm not
I
gonna
would never
Said
say
that.
that.
I'm the
You just
wait.
said you look fat.
Said
No,
you look fat.
no. What I'm saying is, if a guy came across and said that to his lady, and he felt like that, it'd be no different than you coming to him and saying, "You don't make enough money to provide for us."
We're not talking about the women. We know a lot.
Right, but Nick, Nick,
But
Nick,
listen,
what you're
let me-
asking us to do, you're asking us to answer from the woman's perspective.
no,
Because
but
you're asking us.
Okay,
no, the hell I'm
so
not.
let me.
Listen, guys, listen.
All right.
When Trav just said you look fat, okay?
Okay.
Some men will actually tell their wives, you look fat.
But what is that? What is that?
Let me finish
All right.
But
with
that's
that.
not being judgmental.
That is being judgmental and that's being disrespectful.
It's
How
being
so?
disrespectful. So this is okay. So when we talk about being judgmental, we're talking about if I do something and you judge it and it's in a negative way. That's what judgmental is. So if you take something that I've done and you're talking about it and you're being critical about it, you're judging me for something that I've done or something that I've said. But if you're telling me how I look and you're saying it in a rude way, you're being disrespectful. So if I believe it's in, we've talked about this before, you guys. I believe it's when it's your delivery. Anybody and anything that said can come off as judgmental. Anything, depending on who you're talking to, how sensitive that person is to that subject, anything. People are naturally judgmental. So, and I'm not saying that's okay, but is it hurtful? Absolutely. But it's just all in what is being taught, what the subject is, because it's based off of what this person is doing or what this person is saying, and then you have a negative viewpoint and you're critical on her or him about how that person's doing it and how you could do it better or whatever the case may be.
Right. Go ahead, Trav. We got 5 more minutes or 3 more
Y'all,
minutes.
here's the thing, and I get what you're saying, Nick, and Nita. I get it, but here's the catch: the world is judgmental on men, and as a man, if you say something and you judge a woman, it doesn't matter how you do it. There's no nice way to tell your lady that you care for. She's overweight. She's not doing this. She's not doing that. She's not being away in a relationship. Those things don't go over well with women.
Yes, they
'Cause
do.
they're-
It's how you saying it. If
hold
a
on,
woman is
hold on.
overweight, you can easily say, "Hey, babe, I'm about to hit the gym tonight. Did you want to come?" If she decides to
No,
sit at
no,
home
no,
and
I don't.
eat
What
2
if you said-
cheeseburgers and some French fries, then she just told your ass no.
Okay,
Okay, but what I'm saying is there's no possible way to do that with y'all. Without
And
them
I'm
coming
telling you, that's
that's
not
not true. That's not
that's
true.
what I'm saying is that's not true. It depends on who you're dealing with.
It depends on who you're dealing with. Yeah.
under.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. The key word, shit. Help me out, bro. Shit. Okay. So being with a man that has been abused. Okay. So do you feel or have you witnessed any of your homeboys or anybody that knows somebody that has been manipulative to a woman?
All men are manipulators.
Hey yo, but can I just say something, please, yo? Like everything that you describing about a man that's being abused, none of these questions are empathetic to the man. You're saying have you
I'm
witnessed
not
a
talking
man
about
that's
I'm not talking about being empathetic. I'm talking about if you've been abused, how can a woman deal with it if you have these traits? That's
right,
the topic.
but that ain't but it just
But-
sounds
but-
it sounds weird, Nick, to say describe a man who's hold on, let me finish. I want you to hear how it sounds. Describe a man or tell me about one man that you know that has been abused that manipulates people. God damn, what about him? We ain't saying shit about him being abused. Not one thing. All we did was say that because he was abused, he's fucked up. We ain't said not one time describe a man that you know that's been abused, that's getting abused by a fucking woman. Verbally, physically, all that shit because he doesn't know how to deal with trauma. We ain't talked about none of that. All we talked about is the man being fucked up to women because he was abused.
Who
That's
kept talking
fucked
about
up.
that? this whole time.
You
Me?
keep saying it. Yeah.
Girl, okay, I'm a mute.
Reread the
so-
questions, Nick. No, reread the
I'm a-
questions.
No,
Reread the
it's not
questions.
me. It's the top 5.
All
on
right, well, you're the host, though.
research. Okay, so anyway, the top 5 things again. Men are hypercritical or judgmental towards a woman. They row. They ignore boundaries or invade your privacy. They are
What is
possessive.
invading your privacy? What is that?
I think that's more of a woman thing, to tell you the truth, because women invade privacy more than men.
Yeah, women definitely go
saying,
through
like,
a man's stuff before a man will go through a woman's stuff.
So like, what's invade? Like you, like,
You
but you
walk
come
in-
in the bathroom and
No,
she naked.
I think invading privacy is more checking on something, checking like phone.
looking through your shit and all that.
Yeah, that's more of a woman thing. I don't think
He's a bitch. He's a bitch if he's doing that.
I don't think he's a bitch. I think what happens, there's so many different forms of abuse, though, you guys. We have to acknowledge that as well.
No.
Yes, there is, because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're insecure based off of how this person has treated you, then you tend to go through that person's things.
That person's a bitch.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's a part of being that's a part of abuse.
Peter, I'm never gonna go through your purse. I'm never gonna check your phone. I'm gonna ask you to leave.
I know men that do that.
Yeah,
I know men that do that too.
I know men that
he's wasting his time because she can give away more pussy than you can ever find out about.
I just think I just think that, I mean, guys, there are guys that do that. I mean, it doesn't make it right, but there's way more women that have that that will go through a man's things, because women talk to women and be like, girl, have you done this or have you done that? I don't foresee guys being like, oh, bruh, did you go through her phone?
Yeah, right.
Side note, if a lady tells you to look through, if the ladies that are watching, if they tell you to look through your man's things and she doesn't have a man, she wants you to be single with her. Go back to what we were talking.
All right.
You know what? And women are scared.
Hold on. Let Smiley say something.
Go. I didn't hear him.
No,
Go ahead.
she can go ahead and finish, because I was going to go ahead to number 3.
I was gonna say, some women are scandalous. They don't want to see you get ahead or beside them, so they try to hold. Yes, just like Travis has said in the past, some women are terrible friends to other women.
Yeah.
Very, very, very.
Sorry, Smiley. Go ahead.
All right. So number 3, you said that's the one about the controlling and possessive, right?
Yeah.
So that one, I've been called controlling a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always behind the same topic. You know what I mean? What she got to put on, clothes, whatever the case. If I say, okay, hey, look, I ain't really cool with, saying that particular outfit, like you're doing too much. Like if you sneeze, your nipple gonna pop out type shit. Like tone it down a little bit. The response I get is, saying you being controlling, you don't tell me what to do. I'm like, I'm just letting you know, hey, there's some shit I ain't comfortable with. I ain't cool with that. But because that's one of my boundaries, it was always labeled as controlling. Like you can do what you want to do as a single person, but in a relationship, you got to take that into account. Like, hey, look, I'm not okay with these activities.
Mm-hmm.
But as a man, with me saying that, it automatically gets labeled as controlling. Like you can look up any one of these little crazy little podcasts out here today. One of the main things these girls talk about is ain't no man gonna tell me what I can and can't wear. And it's like the lens that you viewing that through is tainted. Because if he cares about you, how you present yourself to the world is gonna matter to him.
Right.
But you dealing with some.
Hold on, Lenita.
That's a lot.
Go ahead.
No, go. She go ahead.
No, he has his hand up. Go ahead, Trav.
Oh,
Okay. So
okay.
I love what you said, Smiley, and brother, do not change that because you working and taking care of your family. I don't with whatever woman has ever said that. But quick thing. So I used to date this chick and she looks just like me alone. Back then she did. And we got ready to go and she put some high heels, some booty shorts on, and a white beater. And she was like, "We went to the grocery store." And I was like, "You're not going anywhere with me. Not like that." So if that's for me and we deal, that's for me. If you don't like that, that's cool. I'm telling you that's for me in the house. If you don't like that, then I'm not the guy. And I'll tell any guy this. You could tell a woman your preferences, fellas, and
Mhm.
tell her this. And it's all you got to do. You can do
Okay.
whatever you want to do. You just can't do it with me.
And let me ask you guys this. You know, the thing about black men, you wear gray sweats because you got a big dick and it outlines your shit. And the woman doesn't want you to wear gray sweats. You still gonna wear them?
You can't. It's almost hard to hide a big dick. That motherfucker dangerous. It bother the shit out you all day.
Anyway, Trav,
My
if she
Just
don't want
waiting
you to
for
wear,
Ro to say
if she
something.
don't want you to wear,
hey,
if,
wifey
I just
got rid
think
of
I
my
if
think
gray
she don't,
sweats.
if she don't want you to wear gray pants, are you gonna stop?
Wifey got
nah.
rid of my gray sweats.
Ro said, nah.
Nah,
I
because
would.
it's I mean,
Look,
I don't know.
hey, Ro, I
I don't know,
fought it
man.
for a while too
Y'all,
because I
hold
ain't
on.
understand it.
Y'all, we
Nah,
overtime. We
I've done this though. I've
overtime.
had this situation.
We
Well,
can
Ro, tell him,
hold on,
Ro,
y'all.
you know,
We overtime. We way overtime.
true. That's true. But people need to know that big dick
Okay.
worry you. You sit on it, make your stomach hurt sometime. Big nut,
Anyway,
all kind of shit going on. But
go ahead, Ro.
Now, all I'm saying is just like just to I know we overtime, so make it quick. To bring it
Mhm,
all back around, man, I think it's so unfair, and it really bothers me, right?
mhm.
That this whole show is about a man that's been abused in some way, shape, or form.
No, it was how in a relationship, how should a woman handle a man that has been abused?
Right,
So
but all the characteristics of a man that's been abused
that's
were
from that,
negative.
but that was a
But
whole
that's
that
but
was
that's part of the question, though,
that's
though,
their
man.
but that was their opinion.
I
So
understand, but I'm to the opinion, though.
so you're entitled to your opinion. You are. But what I'm saying is, Ro, is how do you tell people, like you guys said it loud and clear, whoever wrote this information sits when he pees and he's a bitch, this and that, and blah, 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 blah. So my question to you guys, because all of it was all defensive. So my question to you guys was, okay, what is a sign that shows that a man could have been in that situation?
But don't you think that's what I'm saying? But that's my point. Don't you think that's a better answer for the women to give? Because you're asking us
Look,
as men.
I was trying to ask the women, but you guys kept talking over. You
Oh,
guys wanted to answer it, Mr. Defensive.
my bad.
So on that note, I love you guys. We're not going to stop here. We're going to have L.U.S.T Pod after dark, but we're going to stop recording. We will see you guys on Sunday. Subscribe, and we are out of here. One love, y'all.